Hi Silem stars, you're welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, please don't forget to subscribe down below. It's free and it helps my channel grow. In today's video guys, I'm going to show you how to make a play suit without half cuts. Okay, so the top part of this play suit is cut together with the shorts to make it a play suit. So there's no half cuts, it's just all one piece and it's just so easy and so beautiful to make. For this tutorial, I'm also going to be cutting the sleeves together with the rest of the piece. So both the sleeves, the top and the shorts are all cut together as one piece. And I'll show you how to make this from start to finish very easy. So if you want to see how to make this play suit without half length, then definitely keep on watching.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there.
So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw our baseline at the top of the paper. And then after that, from the baseline, we're going to mark our vertical measurements. So the first vertical measurement we're going to mark is the armhole line, which is 8 inches. So we'll just mark that. And then we'll mark the bust point line 10 inches, the under bust 13 inches. We'll also mark the waistline 15.5 inches, and then we'll mark the hip line 24 inches. So just go ahead and mark all your vertical measurements. For the length of my piece, I want it to be 34 inches, so I added 1 inch to that to make it 35 inches. Now we're going to go ahead and extend all those lines using our ruler. Now the next thing we'll do is to label all the lines. AH is armhole, BP bust point, UB under bust, WL waistline, HL hip line, and FL full length. Now from the edge of the paper, we're going to mark 2 inches inwards. Since this is a jumpsuit or a play suit, we need this so that we can mark the crotch curve. Okay, so we'll be doing that later. For now, just mark 2 inches from the edge of the fabric. Okay, so where you have your center front. Now all our measurements will start from this line outwards. Okay, so from that line, I'm going to mark the shoulder divided by 2, which is 7 inches. I'll mark that on the baseline and on the armhole line, and then I'll extend, or I'll connect those 2 points with a straight line. Make sure you're measuring from that 2-inch mark, okay, and not from the edge of the paper. Now for the neck width, I'm going to take 3 inches for the neck width. You can decide how wide you want your neck to be, and then the neck depth is 6 inches. This is a V neckline, so I'm going to be using a straight line to connect those 2 points. If you wanted to have a round neckline, all you have to do is just draw a curve to connect those 2 points. Now from the baseline, I'm going to go down by 1 inch to create my shoulder slope. Okay, so I'll just go down by 1 inch and I'll mark that point, and then I'll connect that to the width of the neckline so that I can create my shoulder slope. Now from that shoulder slope down to the armhole line, I'm going to measure what I have there, and then I'm going to get the midpoint and then go in at that point by ½ an inch. Okay, now divide the bust circumference by 4, mark that on the armhole line, and then I'm going to add 2 inches allowance to that. Now this is a very free play suit, okay, and that's why I'm adding 2 inches allowance. Now I'm going to use my curved ruler to connect those points to create the armhole curve. Now on the waistline, I'm going to divide the waist circumference by 4, mark that on the waistline, and I'm going to add 2 inches allowance. Make sure that all your measurements are starting from the 2-inch mark. On the hip line, I'll divide the hip circumference by 4, mark that, and add 2 inches allowance as well. Now what I have on the hip line, including the allowance, I'm going to measure it, then I'm going to mark that same thing on the full length line. Okay, so just mark that same thing on the full length line, and now all you have to do is connect all those points together. So the next thing we're going to do is on the waistline there. Okay, we're going to simply come down from the waistline by 13 inches. This is called the crotch depth. Okay, is called the crotch depth. So from the waistline, we're going to go down by 13 inches. This is a jumpsuit, that's why we're using 13 inches. If it was a regular short or trouser, would have gone down by maybe 10 or 11 inches. Okay, so just go ahead and mark your crotch depth from your waistline, and then connect that to your hip line with a curve. Okay, so just use a curve to connect that crotch depth to your hip line, and then from that crotch depth down to the hem, also connect that with a curve as well. Okay, so this is what the curve looks like. Now if you're going to cut yours like this, you're going to attach sleeves, all you have to do is just cut along the outline we have here. Okay, we are done drafting. But for me, I'm making this jumpsuit to have an extended sleeve, so I'm going to be adding my sleeve or cutting my sleeve together with the rest of the jumpsuit. So from the shoulder, I'm going to go out by 9 inches, which is the length of the sleeve, and that same 9 inches I'm going to mark that on the armhole line. Okay, and then I'm going to connect those 2 points with a straight line. So like I said, if you want to add your sleeves later, you don't have to do this step. Just go ahead and cut it the way it is. So once you've drawn the length of your sleeve, just simply use a curve to connect your sleeve length to your bust point using a curved ruler. Okay, remember we're creating our extended sleeve right here. Now at the hem of that sleeve, I'm going to go down by half an inch and connect that to the width of my neckline, just to have a bit of a shoulder slope. Since it's an extended sleeve, we don't need up to 1 inch for the shoulder slope. Okay, so now all we're going to do is we're just going to cut along the lines. Can you see how easy it is to draft these, guys? I also have a detailed jumpsuit tutorial where you can learn how to create a jumpsuit that has a half cut. Okay, where you cut the top part separate from the bottom part. I'm going to leave the link up here. Okay, and then you can go ahead and check it out. So just click on the card at the top right once you're done watching this video, or I'm going to leave the link to that jumpsuit tutorial in my description box. Also, I have a detailed trouser course. If you want to learn how to make palazzo trouser, pencil trouser, shorts, jumpsuits that fit perfectly, then please register for my trouser course. It is affordable, but it is packed with so much knowledge. Okay, now that we're done with drafting the front piece, we'll move on to draft the back piece. So we're just taking our pattern paper and we're placing our front piece on top of the back piece. Now we're going to extend the crotch, that crotch line there. We just extend that, and then we're also going to extend that base line at the top as well. And now at the crotch line there, we're going to come out by 2.5 inches. Remember that this is the back of your jumpsuit, and the crotch curve has to be deeper or wider than that of your front piece. Now at the hem, we're going to come out by 2 inches. Okay, so at the crotch line for the back, 2.5 inches, and at the hem, 2 inches. So now we're going to connect those 2 points with our curve ruler like this. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and identify our waistline right there. Now we're going to draw a diagonal line to connect the waistline to the crotch, that crotch point for the front piece. Okay, make sure you're connecting this to the front piece. So just use dotted lines, because this is not the actual line we're going to use to cut our back piece. So just use dotted lines to connect the waistline of the front piece to the crotch point of the front piece as well. Okay, now after you're done with that, all you have to do is just use your ruler now to just draw a curve to connect the crotch point for the back. Connect that to that diagonal line you created with the dotted lines. Okay, so just go ahead and connect it like so. Okay, and once we're done with that, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just mark our center back line. Okay, by following the center front edge there of the paper, and then from the baseline we're going to come down by 2 inches for the back neck depth. Remember that the front and back have the same neck width. The only difference is the depth of the neck. So I just came down by 2 inches and just drew a curve to create that back neckline. And then after that, we're just going to go ahead and cut out our piece, just following the lines we drew. Can you see how easy it is to cut these, guys? It's so easy, and it saves you the stress and time of having to cut the top and cut the bottom. That's cut the top and cut the trouser and then join them together. Okay, and it's also very easy to sew. If you're enjoying this video so far, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel out a whole lot, and also leave a comment saying love this. Now once we're done cutting, this is what we have. As you can see, our pattern is ready. So now we're going to take this and we're going to transfer this to our fabric. Okay, so as you can see, now I've transferred it to my fabric. Now I left 1/2 inch allowance along that center back edge, and I also left 1 inch allowance at the hem. Okay, and I left 1/2 inch allowance at, you know, the baseline area. That's where we have the shoulder. Okay, so I did that for both front and back pieces. It's very important to leave that 1/2 inch allowance along the center front and center back, because you're going to use that to join, you know, the pieces together. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do now is we're going to join our center front. We're going to join it from the neck all the way to that crotch point, but then for the back we're going to go ahead and measure about 17 inches from the neckline. We'll mark that point, and then that's where our zipper is going to stop. Okay, so our zipper is going to stop there, so we're not going to join from the neck to that point. Okay, we'll leave that part open, but from that point all the way down to the crotch, we're going to go ahead and join that. Okay, so just go ahead and sew that in place. So after sewing it, this is what we have. This is our front piece. We've gone ahead to join the two front pieces together. This is what it looks like. Okay, and then this is what our back piece looks like. Can you see the top part that is open because of our zipper? As you can see it. Now from the shoulder, I'm going to leave about 1/2 inch from the edge, and then I'm going to go ahead and mark 16 inches downwards. This is where my pocket is going to start from. If you're not putting a pocket, you can go ahead and skip this step, but simply leave 1/2 inch from the edge and then mark 16 inches downwards from the shoulder there. Now my pocket width is about 7 inches and the length is 8 inches. I just cut it out in this curve, in this curved way, and I cut 4 pieces of my pocket. Okay, and I'm going to show you a very easy way to attach your pocket to your jumpsuit. This also works for a dress. If you want to attach pockets to a dress, this also works. So all you have to do now is just place the pocket right sides facing. From that point you marked, just place it there. Make sure that the pocket is facing the right side, and then go ahead and just pin it down and sew from the top of the pocket to the bottom. Do this for both the front piece and the back piece. Okay, so after joining the pockets, this is what we have right here. Can you see? Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to place our back piece on top of our front piece, like so. Like I said, you have to attach your pockets to both the front and back pieces, so just place them right sides facing the front and the back pieces, and then go ahead and join the shoulders together. And after joining the shoulders, also sew from the sleeve all the way down around the pockets like that, and all the way down to the hem. So just go ahead and sew both pieces like so. Okay, now you're also going to go ahead and open up the legs of the jumpsuit. Make sure that the seams at the crotch are lined for both of them. Open up the allowances, and then just go ahead and pin them together. Okay, so just pin the crotches together, and then sew from the crotch all the way to the hem for one leg, and sew from the crotch all the way to the other hem for the other leg. Okay, so just go ahead and do that. Now once you're done, this is what you have. Can you see how neat it looks? So once we put in our hand in our pockets, won't bring out the pocket. Look at how neat the pocket looks. Can you see? Very easy to do. Such an easy way to attach your pocket to your trouser, inseam pockets. Okay, so this is what our jumpsuit looks like so far, and this is what the back looks like as well. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and take our bias tape. We're going to use that to hem the neckline. So we'll start from the back, we'll hem the neckline all the way round to the front and all the way back to the back. And then we're going to take our zipper and then we're going to add our zipper to that opening that we have on our center back. After that, we'll also hem the bottom part of our trouser, okay, like so, and we'll also hem the sleeves as well. And that's it, guys. So easy to do. Don't forget to hem the sleeves as well, like I said. And this is the finished look, guys. I really love how this jumpsuit turned out. Which one do you prefer, with or without a belt? Let me know in the comment section. Bye, guys.